We've been talking about these surveys that have come out. ESPN has put them in the hands of front office executives, coaches across the NFL. They rank different positions, meaning the players in those positions, anonymously, and then ESPN reveals the results. Derrick Brown for the Panthers was the 7th best defensive tackle in the league, according to the survey takers. Brian Burns, former Panther, was the 10th best edge rusher in the NFL, according to the survey takers. The safeties came out earlier today. So they put out the list of the top 10 safeties. Then they added on those that were close. Then they had just the kind of the fine print players that also received votes. And I realized that's probably the second, third best chance for a Panther to end up on a defensive side of the football top 10 list with Xavier Woods. So I wasn't expecting him to be top 10, but I was like, I should check, right? It's my job to cover the Panthers. Let's be thorough here. So I click on the link, and I go through the top 10, and I don't see Xavier Woods' name. And I'm like, all right, probably should have known.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Then I go, well, let me see if he's in the next group. Let me see if he's in that, like, these guys got close group. And I clicked on it, and nope, not in there. I was like, well, certainly somebody, some exec, some coach, somebody that's worked with them in the past, somebody that he had a great game against, somebody gave him at least one vote. And I looked through it, and they were not there. There were 25 players that received at least one vote in this survey when it comes to safeties, and Xavier Woods was not one of them. And it got me thinking. Derrick Brown, great. Jaycee Horn, when healthy.
Awesome.
Very, very good. Jadeveon Clowney, been explosive, been proven in the league for a while now. Who's next? Season on the line. I like these kind of questions, right? The Panthers' defense is on the field. By the way, we're less than a month until preseason starts. So this is not like, they're going to add somebody. Maybe they'll add
4 weeks from today is their first preseason game.
Look at that. Season on the line. Let's say week 7, right? You won 3 games early, but then you're on a 2-game losing streak. And it feels like you're at a tipping point, right? You're either going to turn your season around or everybody's going to call that early part a fluke. So you're 3-3, 2-game losing streak, week 7. You're up 4. Very, very important play, right? 2-minute drill-ish, right? It kind of feels like it's 3rd and 7. It all comes down to this play. Derrick Brown doesn't make the play because they're double-teaming him. Jadeveon Clowney's hurt. Jaycee Horn, they're going to throw it elsewhere. Or they're going to run it, throw it, whatever. They're going to go elsewhere. Who do you want? Who can you trust the next most on the Panthers defense? Outside of those 3, where do you go next? I think it has to be Xavier Woods. I think it has to be that's the guy you'd want to be put in the playmaking decision, in the kind of pivot point position that the whole play is going to fall on. And he's not even one of the 25 best on his team. I thought this might be fun, but the real answer is it might be depressing. I brought up the depth chart for the San Francisco 49ers. Leonard Floyd, Javon Hargrave, Nick Bosa, Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, Charvarius Ward, Talanoa Hufanga. I think I would be comfortable with any of them having the game come down to a play they have to make.
Pretty much.
Also, somebody should let them know that Yetur Gross-Matos should probably be not the direct backup to Nick Bosa. I'm just looking at that now thinking, maybe you – never mind. He didn't do much for the Panthers, what I'm saying.
No, not really.
There would be a steep drop-off in production. But there's like a great defense has 8 or 9 guys that you're confident will make the play if it's presented to them, right? Because defense is different than offense. Offense, if you have one dude and you need a play made by the offense, you can tell your quarterback, throw it to him. If he's triple teamed, you throw it to him. If it's a running back, hand it to him, right? Like, you can guarantee your guys, if it's an offensive lineman, we're running dive right up his backside. Like, that's what you can do. On defense, it's kind of like, well, right? It's the whole, like, Sauce Gardner has like 2 interceptions and people hold it against him. And I'm like, no, actually, it's the little amount of time that he's tested that tells you how good he is, because teams can choose whether or not he gets an opportunity to get his hands on the ball. So Jaycee Horn might be great. All that means is there's not going to be a single critical play where Jaycee Horn is the guy being tested, because why would you when you can test Jordan Fuller, or you can test Dane Jackson, or you can test Troy Hill? Xavier Woods doesn't have the respect of the rest of the league. He's going to get tested. How comfortable are you with him being in that position? Again, quarterbacks know this. Like, depth charts matter. Do you know what was my freshman year? I was a true freshman, walk-on backup quarterback. So they gave me the real big a lot of responsibility put on my shoulders. One thing they told me was they wanted me to know the backup safeties and what they were good and bad at. If we knew it at Delaware, like, who to take advantage of. So basically it was like, 22 got hurt, 37's coming in. He's got stiff hips. Try to make him turn. Like, that was my entire job. That
Double
was
moves.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. It was so-and-so thinks he's a big hitter. He's going to try to come down on play action, whatever it was. That was my big job early in the season. Well, like, guess what the occasionally, actually never really, it was FCS backup safeties. There was never anyone like, ooh, don't test them. But in the NFL, you're going to know who to test and who not to test in big moments. The Panthers have like 3 guys that I think the other teams are going to go, yeah, probably not. And then there's going to be 8 guys with targets instead of jersey numbers. It's going to be like, wherever else you want to go. Dealer's choice quarterback.
Like, that 4th best guy might be A'Shawn Robinson. Another interior lineman.
Could be A'Shawn
Robinson.
Robinson.
Let's not run up the middle because you got Derrick Brown and A'Shawn Robinson.
Yeah.
And there's Clowney over there. Run that way.
Run towards, the other side. There's a world where the Panthers' offense is greatly improved and the Panthers' defense makes it irrelevant because they'll, like, sliding scale, for as much as the offense improves, the defense will take a step back. And I think that's kind of intentional, right? Because so much, and not intentional like they got worse. I'm just saying intentional like they've moved resources from the defensive side of the ball to the offensive side of the ball.
There was a focus.
I think there's much more confidence in what if your 4th best playmaker on offense has to make a play, and much less confidence in what if your 4th best defensive player has to make a play. And the reason why that decision was made, like you said, choices were made, is because your entire franchise is riding on Bryce Young figuring it out. So they moved their resources to help him figure it out, and now they're going to look at Ejiro Evero, their defensive coordinator, and say, do what you can, my man. Like, duct tape and smoke and mirrors, right? Call a trick play. I don't know. Do what you got to do. But it's tough when you start getting to, the 3rd and 4th best player on that defense.